Hey, friends. I'm so glad you're joining us for part 3 of Sizzling Summer Success. So today you are going to be hearing from Cheryl Wyatt, who has been with Pampered Chef for 25 years. That is so wild. What an incredible journey I'm sure she has experienced. And she shares a little bit about her story, but really just the secrets behind sustainable success. Because I think we can all agree that, adrenaline and, motivation and all of those kinds of things, your own personal network can help you have success for a limited amount of time. Pretty much anyone, right, can have success for 6 months or a year. But 25 years, right? The tips that she shares are so powerful, so incredible, and I just really appreciate these women giving of their time, as well as you're going to hear from Dawn Pimbleton, who is a top leader with Hugh and Grace, and she has been in the industry for, I believe, about 10 years or so, and just her training during our Sizzling Summer Success Series was about sales and retention, and just really how the relationships that you're forming and the connections that you're making and turn into friendships, and those people usually become lifelong and loyal customers. So I'm really excited for you guys to tune in to today's trainings. And as always, please pass our podcast, pass the link on to a friend, to someone that you know could benefit from it. And if you are interested in joining us inside our membership, be sure to go to the show notes as we have a link for you to join. It's only $47 a month, you guys, and you get so much goodness as well as access to fun things like this that we do every single month.
Welcome to the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur, where we, Becky
and Monique, your new biz besties, both busy moms just like you.
We're here to talk all things network marketing, mom life, and how to truly live out your calling. We'll be dropping 2 episodes each week to help you, the busy mompreneur, know the exact strategies to build both your business and your home. You'll hear each week from one of the top network marketers on their best tips for what's led to their success and what's working now.
We know that you're here because you are called to something more. You have a desire to succeed in both your business and at home, and we are going to teach you how. If you love what you hear here on the podcast and want to be one of our success stories, join us inside our community, the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur, where we provide a daily social media action plan, additional resources, kingdom coaching, and more. Click the show notes for the link to join. So let's get into the episode.
Hey everybody, my name is Cheryl Wyatt, and I am here today to talk to you about having sustainable success. And I've got some notes in front of me because if you guys know me, you know that sometimes I squirrel, so I want to make sure that I stay on track and can just keep going. So anyway, so I'm very excited. I'm a little bit nervous, and Dawn and oh my gosh, I've just forgot the name that spoke yesterday, but I've listened to both of those over and over, and y'all were absolutely amazing. Megan, that's her name, Megan. I knew her. But anyway, so let me introduce myself again. I'm Cheryl. I am with Pampered Chef, and a little bit about myself. This summer, I will be celebrating 25 years with Pampered Chef. Pampered Chef is the only thing that I've ever sold in my life, unless you consider Girl Scout cookies or like those magazines that we sell together, we sell in school. So those are pretty much the only things that I've ever sold. So I was very apprehensive before I started this business because I had no experience. So I just want to kind of start off with this. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, but I want to start off with, we all know that this business is up to us. In this industry, you don't punch a clock. You don't really report to anybody as you do in a traditional job. You punch your own clock and you answer to your own self. So I want to start it out with think about this. Would you rehire yourself or would you let yourself go? Are you showing up That's one of the things I always am asking myself. Am I showing up? Am I being the best version of myself? Would I be proud of myself? Am I doing the things that I would expect other people to do to me? Am I treating other people the way I want to be treated? Because I can assure you, back when I was younger, I had no filter. My husband says I don't have a filter now, but just want to give you a little bit of background on me. Prior to starting in this industry, I worked in the accounting field for 30 years of my life. 15 years into that, I started doing this. And I share this with you because I want you to never overlook somebody that you might be like, oh, I don't think so. I was in a miserable place in my life, absolutely miserable. I attended a party and it just kind of got me thinking. I had just moved to this little town and I really felt like I was in prison. I didn't feel like I could escape. And this was very early in my marriage. Sadly, I did stick around about 9 years. But anyway, moving forward, I said yes to the business. And what I found, and I think this is in any business, not necessarily, just this one, but this business brought me friends. It brought me parties to fill my lonely and sad nights when I wanted to get out of the house. When my daughter went off to college, I left that marriage and then I was alone. I had to find things to keep me going. And so, it's like the parties brought me joy. Meeting up with friends at parties brought me joy. So I knew that this is where I needed to go. I needed to keep going forward. And honestly, in 25 years, I've never uttered the words, I'm done, ever. And I think it is just that forward thinking and that forward movement that I've had in my business, even when times were horrible, when I wanted to get out of the house as soon as I could because I couldn't even stand being in my own home. I just always knew that there was something out there that was going to make me happy, whether it was just the person I might run into at work, the grocery store, or at that next party, or at a team meeting. So just think about that. A lot of people are not airing their dirty laundry out there in public. So I share that with you just because always keep an open eye on everybody. Okay. So, anyway, and also I want to say, don't overlook somebody that might be right there in front of you. So let me get back to how did I make it? So first off, I think my mindset is where it started. I've always been told I was never a quitter. That's why I stayed married for so long. And I'm happily married now. But anyway, I've never really liked to quit anything. I got my feet in it and I felt comfortable and I didn't like change. That was one thing. But I also always felt like if I always keep looking for some kind of joy in what I'm doing, whatever it is, business, work, life, whatever, then you're going to be happy. You're going to find that joy. So here are some tips I want to share. You've got to work your business entirely. Maybe you just started the business that you're in. Maybe you might be like, oh my gosh, I can't do all the things. But take it in baby steps. Take it in baby steps, friends. Maybe it's the sales. Do the sales first. Then look at the customer service side of it. Look at the team building side and the leader developing side. And lastly, the self-developing side. Because that last one right there will keep you going and going because we can always develop ourselves. As long as we are open to it, we can develop and we can get better. I would have never dreamed that I would be doing this today. So thank you, Becky and Monique, for asking me. But it always made me nervous to stand up in front of people. So find something that's going to make you open that door of uncertainty and walk through it. So here's a couple of reasons. Here's another thing. You can always learn more, do more, and be more. Just remember that. You always can. Here's a couple of ways. So set goals. This should be always income goals and team building goals, recruiting goals. Okay. Make sure that you're setting those goals because when you're setting income goals, you're accountable to yourself. But when you're building team members or building team, then you're accountable to somebody else. So you've got to show up because you want, and that'll make you want to be a better version of yourself because you want to be good for them and you want to get them started on their journey and do that. And even if you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. Fake it till you make it. We've heard that forever. Does your company offer monthly incentives? If so, be the carrot chaser. I don't care if you don't want, I don't know, a little bag or something, whatever. Maybe that's not what you really want. Go after it anyway. Go after it anyway. Because what it does is it trains your brain to always think, there's the carrot, I've got to chase it because I want to acquire it, okay? Let that carrot help you strive for more. And like I said, once you start chasing those carrots, you're going to do it on autopilot. I'm going to get that. And your mindset going into that month when you hear about the carrot, you're not going to be like, well, I wished I could get it. Your mindset's going to be like, oh, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. So it's always fun to chase those carrots. Like I said, I got a lot of carrots I didn't need, but it's always fun to get. And also, once you get the carrot, I don't know why I'm saying carrot, but you know what I'm saying. Also, once you get it, you're like, I did it. I scored it. That's a good feeling. And that just like that inspires you to be like, okay, I can do it. It's like the belief triangle. Okay. So does your company have different consultant levels or, I know we all have different titles, but does it offer different levels? Okay. I'm assuming most of them do. If they do, set that as one of your goals. Like I said, baby steps. You're not going to get there like in one step. Just go in baby steps. And another thing, does your company offer trips or gift cards or any kind of, other incentive? Use that as a goal and put those goals, like I'm looking at my goals right now in front of me. You guys can't see it, but they're on the wall in front of me, and I always thought that was silly. And it's a fact. Put it in front of you. When you see something, when you can vision it, you can envision it and you can accomplish it. And lastly, this is important. This is probably, I don't know, I can't top Megan. Megan knocked it out of the park yesterday. But find your people. Find your people, friends. Don't try to do this alone. Even if your people are in different companies, find your people. Becky used to always say, I've known her for years, but she always used to find your tribe. And, so like, I don't want to steal her word tribe, but find your people. And you can go so far alone, but you can go so much farther with others. So just, because what do they say? Like lift your sails. You want people under you to inspire you and encourage you, even if they're doing something else. I don't care if they're selling cars, whatever it is. They don't have to be selling anything, but just find your people. Setting goals, no matter if they are big or small, helps you take those baby steps that you need to take. It keeps your eyes looking ahead and forward. It doesn't give you a chance to look backwards because honestly, we all know what's behind us. We don't need to see that anymore. We've seen it, we've went through it, we've conquered it, and we're moving forward. That's why God put our eyes right here on the front of our face. They're not back here. There's no reason to look in the back. So I've always talked to my team about that. And anytime I do any trainings, I'm always like, always look forward, because it's really easy to look backward and wish. And this is not about wishing. This is about doing. Okay. So that is why they say keep your eyes on the road and not in the ditches. You steer where you stare, as Kathy Cocazella used to always say. So if you don't have goals, I want you to think about this. Let's take a look really quick about this. Think about why you decided to join your company. What was it that got you to say yes? If you had obstacles, what was it that made you push through and just say, I'm just going to do it? Okay, think about that. Go back and really, really think about what got me here. Okay, now think about what brings you joy. Is it the income? Is it the products? Is it helping others? Is it the flexibility? Are you staying home with your kids? Or are you like me and have grandchildren and have to travel to see some of them? What is it? And then think of outside of right now. Like, let's take a look at the big picture. And guys, I promise you, this sounds a little crazy, but think about all this. Look at the big picture. What is it that you want to accomplish with your company? Is it a level? Is it a trip? Is it just surviving? I mean, what is it? No matter big or small, like, what is it you want to accomplish? And think about this. Let's think about really big. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would your title be at the end of the year? What are the things that you need to do to achieve that? Okay. So I know this has already been touched on, but it is so important to remember this. Think about your story. Don't you think there are other people out there that have your story? And I will promise you something. This just came to light within the last 12 months. Really did. Literally, I just learned about this in the last month. I have a story. And it's not a happy story. It's happy now, but it wasn't always. And I remember somebody telling me, start sharing your story. Start being vulnerable. Start talking about it. Because there are so many people out there I shouldn't say this. There are others out there that could be going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing. Okay. When I started doing that, I saw other people that have went through that. And I know one person that has survived it. And I know another person that has survived it. And everybody, people can survive these things. But I didn't know this about this person until I felt like I opened up. And then like I was able to hear somebody else share it. Whereas maybe if I didn't open up, I might not have heard them say it. And so it's just really powerful. So think about that. Think about what it is. Good, bad, ugly, happy, whatever. But start to come to the surface with that, because there are others out there. And when you start talking about it, it makes you feel good. And when you can help others, and that maybe you touch somebody with your story and they're in the same boat or can relate to you in one way or the other, that can be a new customer, a new whatever, but so we sometimes have to get out of the sales of things, and interact as humans as we are, because we come together a little bit easier when we're talking about humans. But anyway, so I know that was like a little squirrely, but you're so blessed to have the business that you have, is where I'm going with this. So make sure that you're sharing it. Make sure you're sharing it with others. Always, 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 always. And so, like we've said before, what you're doing in your business right now is affecting your business 30, 60, 90 days. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what you're selling. But think about that. Your doors need to be open all year long. Yes, you can take some breaks, obviously. But I've said this before. Megan said it yesterday. That start, stop burns way more gas than if you've just got your foot on the pedal at a cruising speed. Just as long as you're applying some pressure, as long as you're coming to work, you're gonna continue to move forward in your business. So yes, it's summer. Yes, everybody's busy, but it's not we're not shutting down. Even during COVID, we didn't shut down. We moved forward. So just think about that. Think about how you can, the time that you need to spend, that's all been talked about. I can't even reiterate that, enough, but just kind of keep moving forward, guys. So I hope this helped you see how my journey kind of helped me, being consistent, knowing that I always was looking for greener pastures. I have horses. That's why I say that. Always make hay while the sun is shining, friends. Do your business. If you need to bulk it up and block it off, do it that way. Set yourself aside 3 or 4 days to have fun and then get to work for 2 or 3 days. But you can do this because people are still needing your product, no matter if it is summer, winter, spring, or fall. So just make sure that. So I hope it shares with you why I am faithful to my business, loyal to myself, and my company, and why I stuck out stuck it out when times got tough. So thank you so much, guys, for letting me have the opportunity to speak to you today. And y'all have an amazing Thursday. Bye.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I first of all want to say thank you to Becky and Monique for asking me to be on here today. What an honor and a privilege to be here speaking with all of you guys today. So excited. And so just a little bit about me. If you guys don't know me, my name is Dawn Pimbleton. Let's see, I am a mom, I'm a nana, I'm a military spouse. I've been married for over 33 years. Let's see, I'm a podcaster, I'm a devotion teacher, and I'm a leader in the direct sales space. And I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. So we're going to talk today about sales and retention, okay? And, whether or not we want to say we're in sales, we are in sales, right? And so, hey, Cheryl, I see some of you guys hopping on. Most people don't like to say, I'm a salesperson or whatever, but we are. And the reality is, but I like to look at it a little bit differently. So I like to say we're in the sharing business, not in the sales business, right? Because you're just sharing what it is that you love and what you're passionate about. And that's really what this business is about. Sharing what you love, sharing an opportunity, sharing a product, sharing a mission, whatever it is, whatever aligns with the business that you are in. So you often run across people even who will say, I wouldn't be good at it because I'm not really a salesperson. How many of you have heard that? Everybody's heard it. It's an objection that we get on the regular, right? Is that I'm not a salesperson. And I like to kind of counteract that and say, I'm not a salesperson either. I am a people person. And so if you can become a people person, you can do sales. Anybody can do sales. And so, because here's the thing, guys. Sales is really all about relationships, and that's where it starts. And the relationships and the retention come from the results, okay? And so a dear mentor told me one time that relationships plus results equals retention. Relationships plus results equals retention. And so relationships, once you build the relationship, you're going to get results. Your customer's going to get results. Your host's going to get results, whatever. And you're going to have retention. So what does that exactly mean? I know many of you are in the party space. I was in the party space for almost 9 years with my previous company. And so let me give you an example of that, and then I'll give you an example for more of a consumable product. So I know all of you are in different spaces, so hopefully this is applicable to all of you. But we're all in direct sales in general, right? And so party space, let's say you have host Sally, right? And you build a relationship with Sally and you host coach her and she has a great party and she gets the results that she wants and she's gets all the free product and the discounts and all the things. And so what is Sally going to do? She's going to want to book another party with you, right? Or even better yet, she's probably going to want to join you. And so relationships plus results equals retention. And in your business, you should always be looking at your current customers, your current host, and then also new leads on a regular basis. So on a sheet of paper, what I want you guys to do is just draw a line down the middle of your sheet of paper. And on the left side, put your current customers or your existing customers or your old customers, however you want to word it on there. That will go on the left side. And on the right side is going to be your new customers or your new leads. And so we're talking about retention, right? Which would be your current customers and how that's going to work. And And of course, we're headed into summer, and it's really, really important to foster those relationships with your current folks, which is going to lead you into your summer months to be able to keep those relationships going and get the results that you want and everything. So you want to have 50% of your business should be those existing customers, those people that are on a regular basis. And then 50% of your business you're wanting to be new, where you're generating leads. So you're either getting leads from your current parties, or you're getting leads from your current customers, or your new reach outs, cold market, warm market, whatever. So back to how do you retain them? Okay, so a couple of things that you can do in order to retain some of those customers is offer a VIP group. So if you don't already have a VIP group, I highly recommend that you do, because you want to constantly be showing up in your business and thanking people for their order, thanking people for hosting or their referral or whatever it is, maybe their testimony of the products. There's lots of different ways that people can help you in the business, and a VIP group is really a great way to channel all of that and to stay connected with all of your peeps, right? You don't have to always be giving something away either. I know a lot of times people think that in order to get sales and to retain those customers and to retain people, you've got to constantly be giving something away. You really don't. It's about building that relationship, them getting the results that they're wanting, that they're looking for, and that's how you're going to retain them more than anything. You can pull out a giveaway, if you're really stretching for a goal or needing something, but it isn't something that you need to do on a regular basis. What you want to do is be providing a solution. So in that group, you could provide some tips. You could be providing some education on, the products or whatever it is. Maybe you're into nutrition. You want to add value there. Maybe you're, with Pampered Chef, you want to offer recipes or whatever it is, but you want to have something beneficial a few times a week and be offering that in there, and that's going to set you apart. So also focus on existing customers and fostering those relationships. So how do you foster relationships? Here's the thing, guys. You don't want a one and done, right? You don't want to get that sale quickly and, oh, good, I met my goal for this month because so-and-so placed an order, or, I threw in that last party or whatever it is. You don't want a one and done. You want customers for life. You want hosts for life. You want guests for life. You want relationships. You want friendships and things that are for life. So what are you doing that other advocates or other consultants are not doing? What is it that you're doing that is unique? So ask yourself that, to where people will want to do business with you. So I like also the 2-2-2 method. So for retaining your customers. And so when you get an order or anything 2 days after, so you want to thank them right away, right? And whether that's in your VIP group or in your party or wherever it is that you do your business, you want to thank people right away. But then a couple days later, you want to follow up with them and just say, hey, I just want to say thanks again for, that order, or for booking that party, or for that referral or that testimonial or whatever it is. And then a couple weeks later. So 2 days after, 2 weeks after. 2 weeks after, you want to know, hey, have you received your products? What are you thinking about them? Have you had a chance to use those yet? And so that's another great way. It provides extra customer service that is going to, help build that relationship, foster that relationship, and let them know that you haven't forgotten about them. And then 2 months later, you might check in, hey, have you used up your products yet? Or, what are you thinking about your new products? And then that's a great time also when you're following up with them at that point to talk to them about, hey, we just launched a new product. I'd love to tell you about it. Or, this would go great with what you're already ordering, or this would be great for, what you got from your last party. So again, just depending on what space you're in is going to depend on, the verbiage that you use in order to do that. But the 222 method is really great for retaining and building those relationships. So after you do that, a few times, that's going to set you apart. It's going to make you different than other folks. And last but not least, you guys, another great way that you are going to retain your customers is and get those sales and build those relationships and all the things is you guys have all heard the fortune is in the follow-up, right? And it's so true. So I want to read you some statistics about follow-ups because these are pretty powerful. So if you're struggling with sales and you're trying to find that balance, and you can always go back. If you're like, man, I wasn't doing that, you can always go back and do it. But 80%, you guys, 80% of opportunities are lost due to lack of follow-up. That's huge. 80% of opportunities. And statistics show that 80% of sales come from at least 5 follow-ups. Okay? So following up 5 times, that's where most everything is going to come from. 44% of sales, 44% of people in the sales force give up after 1 no. And 22% give up after 2 no's. 14% give up after 3 no's, 12% after 4, leaving that only 8% actually follow up 5 times. So if you want to have great sales and you want to retain your customers and your hosts and your guests and everybody, you want to be that person that is following up at least 5 times. Because relationships are built on the follow-up. Follow-up adds value to the service or the product the customer purchased from you. And it gives you an opportunity to build the relationship, which is going to lead to additional sales, additional bookings, additional referrals. And also follow-up builds trust. You're able to just continue that, and it's going to build trust. Follow-up helps improve an overall experience. Maybe you send a thank you card. Maybe you send a postcard. Maybe you send some samples of something new that has came out, right? And so let's just recap for just a minute. Relationships plus results equals retention. Focusing on existing customers and fostering the relationship, the 222 method, and the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? Next thing and last thing that I want to say is with summer coming up, you guys all know that what you do now in your business is you're going to reap the harvest in the next 60 to 90 days. And so, we work in this business because it's flexible, but just because it's flexible doesn't mean that it's optional, right? So we have to be consistent, day in and day out. And, yes, take that vacation, do whatever it is that you need to do over the summer, but make sure that you are touching your business and following up and doing all the things and making time for that, because you don't want to have a gap in your time of consistency in your business, because then you're going to see a gap in your results. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Again, thanks for having me. And it was so great hearing all the other speakers, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur. If you loved what you heard today, could you stop and give us a 5-star rating and review? It helps our visibility on podcasting platforms so others like you can hear more of this message.
Also, if this episode encouraged you, we would love for you to pass it along to your own biz bestie and anyone else who could benefit. Lastly, don't forget that if you want to hang out with us just a little bit more, join us inside the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur community. Click the link in the show notes. Bye for now.